Good afternoon. Everybody here okay? It's a pleasure to be here and to be part of this event. I'd like to thank Senator Rockefeller, Chancellor Nolan, Judge Dan O'Hanlon, and Dr. Jolia Marple and the West Virginia Department of Education for inviting me to participate in this very, very important conference. I'd also like to thank Brenda Williams here in the front row, who worked so hard to organize this event and put it together. This is really something else. And thank you all for being here today. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. A word about Senator Rockefeller, who has fought to address the most essential concerns of any parent, to make sure that children have access to health care, education, and opportunity. He has championed the Children's Health Insurance Program and ensured continued resources for West Virginia's Head Start programs. He has worked to keep children safe from violence and substance abuse, and he co-authored legislation to create the E-Rate program, which helps schools and libraries across America access the internet and close the digital divide. The children of West Virginia are truly lucky to have Senator Rockefeller as their advocate, and it's an honor for me to have been introduced by him today. I feel fortunate that when I wake up in the morning, I get to go to a job that I really love. For me, working on technology policy for a company like Facebook is a dream come true. But the center of my life are my two boys. I have one who's age 5 3/4, as he'll tell you, and the other one is 2 3/4, as he'll tell you. And they're lucky to have 3 sets of grandparents, but all of them live out of state. At a different time, this distance would have made it hard for my kids to connect with their grandparents. But technology has brought us closer together. My children have gotten to know their grandparents through video chat. This is the way my mother reads them bedtime stories. This is the way my mother taught them the words to John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. And this is the way my mother saw my son's first loose tooth, a big event in our household. And this is only one of the many new technologies that are part of my home. I watched my son teach himself to read with a children's computer. And just this past weekend, I helped him learn his addition and subtraction tables with an iPad application. My children aren't on Facebook yet. You can't join until you're 13. And they don't spend their days surfing the web. But technology, even at the young age of 2, is as much a part of their lives as their books, their soccer balls, and their paintbrushes. And I am certain that technology will continue to be a part of their lives as they grow older. But even if technology is an important part of their lives, we must still be thoughtful about the way we use it. For example, cell phones can do amazing things to make our lives better. But that doesn't mean that all uses of cell phones are good. You can use a cell phone to call for help if you get in an accident or have an emergency. But that doesn't mean that you should use a cell phone to text while you're driving on the highway. Technology can create safe, strong, healthy communities, but we must manage the risks that come along with it. Managing risks means both understanding them and talking to your students and children about them. And the fact that you're here today demonstrates your commitment to having those conversations. My goal today is to share some of the powerful ways that the internet is being used and to encourage you to engage with these new technologies yourselves. I'd like to discuss 3 points. 1, embrace technology. It's an asset for educators. 2, digital safety makes good digital citizens. And 3, if you want to be a mentor, you have to understand the medium. I'll begin with the value of embracing technology. New technologies can be significant for educators, and there are an infinite number of yet undiscovered ways to use them in and out of the classroom. New technologies are changing the way we watch movies, read, and access information. Most fundamentally, they are changing the way that we communicate. Facebook is what I know best, so those are the examples that I'm going to use mostly today, but the same ideas apply to other technologies. Facebook is a social technology, and our mission is to give people the ability to connect and share and make the world a more open place. In June, the Pew Research Center released a study that provided some evidence of the impact of our mission, and I'd like to highlight a few of the study's findings. First, it found that Facebook users get more social support than other people. Using a social support scale developed by Pew, the study found that people who use Facebook multiple times a day tend to score an additional 5 points higher in total support, 5 points higher in emotional support, and 5 points higher in companionship than other internet users. Second, someone who uses Facebook several times per day also has more close core social relationships than other internet users. And third, contrary to what most people might think, social networks have no negative impact on real-world contact. Social network users are just as likely to know real people as those who don't use social networks. So taken together, the study is clear. Facebook can have a positive impact on people's lives. It strengthens human connections. It can also be a powerful educational tool. We are just at the beginning of seeing and understanding its impact on education. And there are numerous examples of Facebook being used effectively in schools, and I'd like to tell you about a few of those. One first grade teacher created a Facebook group for the parents of his students and found that within 1 week, parents were more engaged than they had been in the entire year. Another educator decided to create a Facebook group for summer reading discussions. After 2 weeks, he was seeing positive results, including increased excitement about reading. In fact, one high school senior posted to the group that he couldn't believe how excited he was about reading a book that he didn't have to. He wrote, and I quote, "A senior reading a book for fun over the summer? What?" A British literature professor used a Facebook page to help shape in-class discussion. When students finished their reading for the class, they would go to the group and write a paragraph about what they'd read. One student wrote that this made students socially motivated to complete reading and contribute to the discussion online. It also created a more even playing field for students who weren't as comfortable participating as others in class. Facebook can be used to teach students about civic participation and global issues. It's moving to watch people all over the world come together in common cause and utilize Facebook to raise funds to support relief efforts in response to natural disasters in places like Haiti, Japan, New Zealand, southern United States. Similarly, Facebook has been used to help students learn about democracy, political processes in government. The White House, State Department, and US military are all on Facebook, and many campaigns use Facebook as an organizing tool. The Pew study found that Facebook users are more than twice as likely to engage in political meetings or rallies, and 57% more likely to persuade a friend to vote. But while there are certainly many great examples of how Facebook has already been used in the classroom, I believe we can do more. Students can follow the news feeds of organizations related to the subject matter they're studying. If you're learning about art, you can follow and get regular updates from the Museum of Modern Art in New York, for example. Teachers can poll their classes to get their views on issues. Students can learn about elections by following campaigns on Facebook. And teachers can share best practices and lesson plans with one another. These are some examples, but the best uses of social networking technology will be developed not by me or my colleagues, but by educators like so many of you in the room here today, who understand the needs of students best. So please, embrace technology. It's an asset for educators. The second point I want to make today is about how digital safety makes good digital citizens. I say this with some hesitation at the risk of contradicting Senator Rockefeller, but he did say that it's growing, that the Facebook users are growing by the hour and the minute, and Facebook now has a user base of over 750 million people, larger than the populations of US, Germany, Brazil, and Japan combined. Just as it's hard to imagine a country that large never having any crime, we know that it's unrealistic to think that there would never be a single safety concern on Facebook. But our goal is to continually create new ways to make our service as safe as possible, which means we aim to innovate as much around safety as we do in other parts of our business and the product. It also means that we think that safety online is about more than just policing content or developing rigorous enforcement mechanisms. We think it's about raising good digital citizens. In that spirit, we try to develop resources that accomplish three goals: creating technologies that lead to a safer experience, making educational materials available to people who use Facebook, and assuring that our safety messages reach as many people as possible. I'm going to give you a ton of information right now, and I'd be happy to follow up with anybody afterwards to give you more specifics or direct you to other sites. And I have two colleagues here today, Matt Peralt and Andrew Noyes, who are also have a wealth of knowledge about all of these things, so I would encourage you to come and see them afterwards as well if you want more information. One of the most important safeguards on Facebook has been built into the service since the beginning: our real name culture. This means that people have to be their real selves on Facebook, which creates an environment where people are accountable for their actions and therefore less likely to engage in bad behavior. Fake names and hidden identities are simply not the purpose of Facebook. This culture is a crucial aspect of what sets us apart from the rest of the internet. Aside from our real name culture, we have robust reporting systems that enable everyone on the site to report offensive content or dangerous content when they see it. There are report buttons on almost every page of Facebook, and those buttons allow people to identify posts or photos that may violate our policies. We also recently developed a new form of reporting called social reporting, which addresses one of the chief challenges of online bullying. It is often the case that parents and educators aren't aware that bullying is going on, and even though they are often the ones who are best equipped to address the situation. So now, with social reporting, a student can choose to contact a parent or a teacher or a trusted friend to help address the issue. Another important mechanism for curbing cyberbullying is the block tool, which allows someone to cut all ties with the user. In creating this reporting infrastructure that I've just described, we have effectively created the world's largest neighborhood watch program. It's a system of community policing that helps teens on Facebook protect themselves and others. People of any age can report threats to minors, such as cyberbullying, threats of suicide or self-harm, or unwanted contact by adults. A large team of employees work around the clock to review these reports and take action as necessary, and quickly. These technologies all help fight against bullying, a priority for our company. Facebook often mirrors what's happening in the offline world. And just as no one has solved bullying offline, it will take time and ingenuity to address it online. In addition to the technological tools we've created, we've also developed rich safety educational resources on Facebook. We have a safety advisory board, a group of 5 leading internet safety organizations from North America and Europe. With their help, we've created our Safety Center, which contains information for teens, parents, educators, and members of the law enforcement community. We want parents to have conversations about web safety long before their kids are old enough to join Facebook, and to have them in the same way that they discuss how to cross the street safely, why you shouldn't open a door for a perfect stranger at your home, or why calling someone names is wrong. The Facebook for Educators Guide, written by education experts Linda Fogg Phillips, Derek Baird, and BJ Fogg, is a free guide that helps educators understand and leverage social media in the classroom. I encourage you to go to facebookforeducators.org and download a copy. Creating tools and providing resources is not enough. When it comes to bullying, we understand that we need to find creative ways to get our messages out to young people. That's why we've gotten celebrities like Demi Lovato and Vinny from Jersey Shore to speak out against bullying. And that's why we've partnered with Time Warner on a multimedia initiative called Stop Bullying, Speak Up. As part of this campaign, Anderson Cooper will host a special hour-long town hall in October on CNN, and as part of Bullying Prevention Month. There will also be a Facebook app that will enable educators, parents, and kids to pledge their support for ending bullying. But while Facebook strives to make resources available for people interested in learning about how to be safe online, we recognize that we can do more. And that's why today we're announcing a new initiative called Digital Citizen Research Grants. Through this initiative, Facebook will devote $200,000 to commission research studies that highlight trends associated with digital citizenship and bullying prevention. The goal is to spur world-class research on challenges kids face online today and to develop solutions that reflect the complexity of the world we live in. These are hard problems, and that's why we want to enlist the support of some of the leading researchers in the field to help us tackle them. We have worked to create this toolbox that provides people with ways to keep themselves and others safe online. So my message to you today is, digital safety makes good digital citizens. Use the tools. Finally, my third point. If you want to be a mentor, understand the medium. When my older son, Jackson, who you're probably sick of hearing about by now, started preschool, I would ask him, "How was your day at school?" And he'd say, "Good." I'd ask, "What did you do today?" And he'd say, "Played." My son's school helped to address this issue with a fairly simple solution. Every day, they would send a short letter home that would include a few details about what the students did at school that day. So for example, today we read The Very Hungry Caterpillar and discussed what kinds of food are healthy to eat and which aren't. Then we talked about cocoons and butterflies. Finally, we learned about the letter C and the different sounds that it could make. These were only a few data points, but they had the transformative impact on the way that I could talk to Jackson. So I'd say, "So what did you think of The Very Hungry Caterpillar? I heard you read it at school today." And he would answer. We'd have a discussion about the book. Or I'd say, "I think I'm going to eat an apple. Is this a healthy food?" And he would answer and give me his thoughts. These letters home didn't change the basic architecture of his life much at all. I still took him to school in the morning, and we ate dinner together at night, and it was still his teacher who was the one who was reading him the book in the middle of the day. But the small amount of information I received from his teacher had an enormous effect on the kinds of conversations I could have with my son. Having access to a little bit of information dramatically increased my ability to engage with him. Similarly, for parents and teachers to be able to participate in a meaningful dialogue with students about their experience on the network, they must be involved and they must understand the world that the children are experiencing. The world is built around new forms of communication. Consider this. This is always sort of amazing to me. Only 11% of teens check email daily. Most of them are using Facebook or text messaging. You can't be a mentor if you don't understand the medium. The good news is that the data shows that many parents are already on social networks. The average age of a social network user has grown from 33 to 38 over the past 3 years, and more than half of all adult users are over age 35. But signing up is not enough. For Facebook to be as safe for students as possible, parents and teachers must be knowledgeable participants in the conversation. We hope that parents will discuss tools like social reporting with their kids so that they know how to get the support when they need it. We hope that they will show their kids how to access the Safety Center and the tools that are available there. They should talk to kids about declining friend requests from people they don't know. To do all this effectively, parents and teachers must have a basic understanding of these resources themselves. With all this in mind, we need to continue working together to make Facebook even safer. At Facebook, we often say we're only 1% of the way toward achieving our mission, 1%. We are evolving and improving every day, and we will continue innovating to provide the richest, safest experience for everyone on Facebook. Before I conclude, I want to make one final point. I'm a Facebook employee, and I'm also a mother. When I wake up in the morning, I think about my children's safety, and I worry. And when I go to sleep at night, I think about my children's safety, and I worry. But I also think about the positive ways that innovation will affect their lives. When they are my age, will doctors have found a cure for cancer? Will people still drive to work in cars that run on gas? How will tools like Facebook enable them to experience the world in new ways, to form meaningful connections with people thousands of miles away, and to encounter new ideas? Let's make it our collective objective to find the best ways to ensure that our children are informed digital citizens, that they have the tools they need to make smart decisions, and that parents and teachers know how to be included in that part of their lives. And let's work equally hard to continue unlocking the educational potential of these new technologies so that our kids and our society at large will benefit. There is so much untapped potential. Work with a developer to build an educational app. Create a lesson plan that encourages students to use Facebook to research a topic. Help a student learn another language through an online exchange program. And when your child talks about an exciting interaction he had with a friend on Facebook, engage. When your student talks about something she learned on Facebook, engage. That's the key, engage. Understand the medium and participate. Engaged communities will unlock the potential for social technologies to create new and exciting possibilities in the world of education. Thank you.